Stop Climate Chaos is a coalition of development, environmental, youth and faith-based organisations campaigning together to ensure Ireland plays its part in preventing runaway climate change. Comprising over 30 organisations, Stop Climate Chaos is Ireland's largest climate change campaigning network. For the last 4 years, the coalition has been calling on the Irish government to push for an international agreement to keep the rise in global temperatures at 2 degrees centigrade or less. This means global greenhouse gas emissions must reach their peak and begin to decline irreversibly within 10 years. We must ensure Ireland does its fair share to prevent climate chaos by implementing the polluter pays principle and immediately bringing in a climate change law which provides for an annual carbon budget and 3% year-on-year reductions in Irish greenhouse gas emissions. Ensure developing countries can access additional, appropriate and adequate resources to enable them to adapt to the current and future impacts of climate change. And ensure that natural environment considerations are integrated into adaptation and mitigation strategies for dealing with climate change. This year, Stop Climate Chaos is highlighting Ireland's energy story. Our dependence on dirty and depleting fossil fuels leaves us vulnerable and unprepared for the future. Did you know that among rich countries, Ireland is the 6th most polluting per person? If everyone lived like the Irish, we would need 3 planets to survive. Oil is one of the largest contributors to our carbon emissions, providing 89% of our energy. In Ireland, we consume the equivalent of 13.2 barrels of oil per person each year. In Ethiopia, 0.17 barrels of oil are consumed by each person. We must rethink our reliance on imported fossil fuels. We have committed to at least a 20% reduction of greenhouse gas emissions by 2020 to meet our European targets. This can be achieved by passing a strong climate law that ensures Ireland does its fair share to prevent runaway climate change. The average Irish person is responsible for 17 tonnes of greenhouse gas emissions, compared to the Ethiopian average of just 1 tonne. Ireland also has a responsibility to people in developing countries who are already feeling the impacts of climate change. They need adequate financial support to survive the impacts of climate change, a crisis they played no part in creating. The climate crisis is the greatest challenge we now face. Ireland's emissions of greenhouse gases that contribute to climate change are far too big for our population size. Comparing our emissions to other countries, it's clear that we need to change direction. Stop Climate Chaos is committed to helping Irish people act for change. Join our latest campaign and write to the Taoiseach, asking him to make good on his election promise in the programme for government by passing a strong climate change law now. For more information, contact Stop Climate Chaos at our website, or you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter.